2, depending on how the questions are. And then we go to the greetings. There is going to be a dua afterwards.
Yes.
Dua mashroor for those who would like to attend. And are you hearing me well, Sheikhna? Is the connection good?
Yes.
From my side?
Very good. MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. And inshallah, we look forward to the remaining part of today. So I'll take one question, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We have a general question regarding today's lecture. My question is in reference to the complete immersion while praying. I often heard that Imam Ali alayhi salam gave his ring while offering prayer.
Yeah.
What is the reality and wisdom behind this act?
Yes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Our ulama have discussed this issue that if Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam was so much immersed in his salat that when they wanted to remove the arrow, they waited for him to be in salat. How did then he notice that there is a needy person in help? Because he was praying, so he shouldn't have noticed that. There are different explanations. One is that if something is worldly, bodily, physical, when they are in that moment of connection, they don't feel. For example, they don't feel hungry, they don't feel thirsty. If the room is very hot, they don't feel. It's too cold, they don't feel. Their body is tired, they don't feel. But if there is something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, a person is in need of help, paying attention to this person is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This would not contradict their concentration. In other words, they say they reach the position that at the same time that they can be focused, then through that focused attention, they can reach out. And anything which is related to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anything which is will of Allah, they can pay attention. So, if something is about their own body or about dunya, is a distraction from Allah, they don't pay attention. If something is pleasing to Allah, like this case, that Allah is so pleased with it that revealed ayah, إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون. This was certainly something which was pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it would be a big problem or a loss for Amir al-Mu'minin if he had not noticed that there is such a person who is in need.
Thank you very much. Inshallah, one more question for today. When we discuss love and hate for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we often refer to people. You love this person because he is close to Allah. You dislike this other person because he works against Allah. Do we have Islamic proof that this principle is applied in this way? Because one may argue that you can love an enemy of God for the sake of Allah. By having a fraction of love for this person, you also get a power to tame them through this love to an extent, to avert them from doing certain evil deeds, do successful diplomacy, and so on.
Yes, we should have love for Allah and love for the sake of Allah. We have discussed this before. So, love for the sake of Allah has its guidelines. anything that belongs to Allah, I should love, but not equally. There are things which are closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are things which are more important to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or when it comes to people, there are people who have dedicated themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People who have good qualities. So we try to love everything in the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. This needs training. We should not limit Allah's love for people with our limits. We should try to understand how Allah looks at His servants. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala totally angry with them because they have some problems? Or He is so kind and merciful that He might be unhappy with some of their bad actions or qualities, but still He loves them? Like a mother that may have very bad child, but still mother has love for the child, but not for the bad qualities. For example, in Tabligh, we discussed this, that if a prophet who is sent for guiding a group of people, a nation, if he doesn't love them, can he guide them? If Rasulullah didn't love people of Mecca, could he ever help them if he was hating them? Interestingly, the Quran, when it talks about the prophets, normally says, أَخَاهُمْ إِلَى ثَمُودَ أَخَاهُمْ صَالًا. Prophets were brothers, and those people were qawm, people of this prophet. Our prophet was considering people of Mecca as his people. Even in the battle of Uhud, that famous hadith, after they killed Hazrat Hamza and they broke the teeth of the prophet, they injured. Still Rasulullah said, Allahumma hdi qawmi. Oh Allah, please guide my people. So Rasulullah is not distancing himself from them. He is bringing them under his wing and asking Allah to guide them, not to curse them, destroy them. So we should love people, but with enlightenment. Not that we say, okay, everyone is the same, no problem. They commit sins, they don't commit sins, they're the same. No. Also, we should not say those who commit sins, we totally boycott them. Those who don't have proper aqidah, we boycott them. No. You have to have wisdom to understand how to be kind and merciful in Rahmaniyya and Rahimiyya. Because we should follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's example. Allah is Rahman and Rahim. He has some level of rahmah for everything and some additional for good people. We should also try to achieve that, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Shaykhna.
You're welcome.
This will cover it for today's questions, inshallah. Inshallah, we'll take up more questions later on. Thank you.